Hello everybody, it's me, Renee Charbonneau. I'm here live in Grande Prairie for the History Check. Get your ing on province-wide launch. So, today I'm going to talk about Veterans Memorial Gardens, motorcycle tourism, and some of the wonderful things that can happen here in Grande Prairie. Riding in the north gives you lots of beautiful weather lots of the time. So anyway, I just entered under the miniature St. Louis Peace Archway. And ours is 2% of the original, which of course is in St. Louis, Kansas, or St. Louis, Missouri. And you can find this archway on the History Check app. You know, it's all part of getting your ing on, exploring. And so, Veterans Memorial Gardens, we're getting ready to do all of the work here this summer on our sidewalks and installing our services, water, sewer, gas, power, and taking out this old fence, putting in a new fence. And if everything goes well, we'll be putting in a 24 by 60 building up in the far corner there. Anyway, at Veterans Memorial Gardens, some of the things that you're going to find are memorials. This one is dedicated to Master Corporal Timothy Wilson, who was born here in Grande Prairie and died of his injuries that he sustained in the Afghanistan War. And over here, you're going to see a member of the Loyal Edmonton Regiment by the name of Joshua Baker. And Joshua also died of his injuries from Afghanistan War. And yes, I love my shirt too, Sheila. And Grande Prairie, hashtag Grande Prairie, hashtag History Check, hashtag Veterans. So here we are. This is Master Corporal Raymond Arndt. He was killed in action in August 5th, 2006. And these gentlemen are all from the Loyal Edmonton Regiment, these three. And why that's important and significant is that D Company, Decoy Armories, the D Company of the Loyal Edmonton Regiment, their regimental home was here in Grande Prairie from 1940 to 1967. So this is Corporal Zachary McCormick. And Zachary was a very young man, died December 30th, 2009. Again, death in Afghanistan. This is the monument. The Royal Canadian Legion was very instrumental in helping us build this monument, as was the Government of Canada, Veterans Affairs. So this is the back side of the monument, if you will, in that all of the soldiers' names are on the other side. So we'll go around here. Now, why this is significant is this is the first war that Canada fought in since Korea. We've pretty much been peacekeepers. And so there's all 158 killed in action soldiers represented on this monument. Every name represents a Silver Cross family. And whether or not you understand or like war doesn't really matter. Those families all paid a huge price because they let their soldier go to war because they loved them. So we're going to be telling the stories here in these gardens of approximately 275 regional killed in action soldiers. And while we're telling these stories, it'll be done in a setting of gardens where people can walk through. And just like these memorials that I had shown you earlier, like this one here, you'll be able to walk all the way through the gardens, much smaller panels, of course, but there will be the stories of some 275 regional killed in action soldiers since World War I. Then we're going to have all of those soldier stories broken up into clusters, if you will. And over here by Joshua is going to be the garden dedicated to our Métis Nation warriors and their culture and history and some of their soldiers of note. And then over here by Master Corporal Timothy Wilson will be our Indigenous garden. And that will be dedicated to the 8 killed in action soldiers that we've been able to find their information and their history that we know of, and some 60 regional killed in action First Nations soldiers. So they'll be represented here, their history, as much of their culture and why they fought for Canada as possible, and then of course all of their soldiers of note. Very, very few people here in Grande Prairie understand that just up the road in a little town called Grouard, there was a soldier by the name of Charles Checker Tompkins, and he and his brother Peter were both Cree code talkers. So it's interesting that we have such wonderful, wonderful information to be able to teach people. So again, the other beautiful thing about the gardens as I walk through here is that this area is going to teach people about Army Training Base 132 Grande Prairie. And so this garden will all be dedicated to the Loyal Edmonton Regiment, Army Training Base 132 Grande Prairie, and the Loyal Edmonton Regiment and all of their soldiers. We know of at least 22 Loyal Edmonton Regiment soldiers that were killed. Now, the 49th Battalion became the Loyal Edmonton Regiment, so in World War I we have a lot of 49th Battalion soldiers. This garden over here is going to be the Royal Canadian Legion. And this garden is going to basically be a miniature Flanders Fields, and it will tell the stories of the 18 regional legions and some of their soldiers of note. Then over here, we're going to have another smaller garden, and it's going to be dedicated to the Army, Navy, Air Force Veterans Club. And in particular, Unit 389 Grande Prairie, who is donating this land to us. So they'll have a garden here that will represent the Anavets and some of their history. And then over here, we're going to have a small garden dedicated to the RCMP and the Animals of War and our cadet program. And then over here will be a garden dedicated to the Soldiers of Suicide. It will be our Tranquility Garden. And then right here, will be the Animals of War. So the cadets and the RCMP will be up there, the Animals of War, and our Tranquility Garden for the Soldiers of Suicide will be over here. Here in the middle, we're going to be putting a big platform, and that platform is going to house our flags, be also an extra podium so that when we're holding larger ceremonies and events here, we'll have lots of place for people to stand, because this will be a great big horseshoe right here. Now, the other cool thing is this property actually gets extended out about 13 feet. So it's hard. Oh no, there's still one of our pins is there. We'd had all the survey work done. We may have to go and get it done again. But right from here up, you can see the pins. So this is all ours, and this will be where our water and sewer goes, and then our new fence on the other side. So we gain quite a bit of property in here, and it's going to make for beautiful, beautiful walkways. And then we're going to have our program delivery building, and that'll be a 24 by 60 building on skids. We're going to put a custom roof on it, and we're going to have a big military mural across the front of it. And so it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous facility. And then, of course, over here, you can see the sea can that was donated by Clarence Shields of Blackjacks. His father, Jack, was one of the soldiers with the 2 PPCLI that fought in the Battle of Kapyong. And so on the side of that, we're going to be making basically from ground to top of the building a flat panel so nobody knows that that's a sea can, and that'll be a big mural. We've already gotten the rights from the artists for the artwork that's going to go on here, holding Kapyong and the battle of, or the night fire in Kapyong. And so a lot of people ask, why is a Canadian Motorcycle Tourism Association the ones hosting this, getting this all together? Well, I'm here to tell you why. A lot of veterans ride motorcycles. And because of that and the fact that I'm a PMQ brat, I just can't imagine not promoting our veterans, tourism, culture, the heritage. It all goes together. And when we have a healthy and vibrant remembrance of what we have to offer and what we've gone through to get here, it's an amazing thing. Sheila Willis, the founder of the History Check app, is also the vice president of our association. And we're grateful to have her and her guidance and her courage and her strength and her passion. It kind of fuels all of us as we watch her with this project of hers and how it's taken off, and how many communities, 600 and some communities, have already started submitting their history and their information. And I can't tell you how much it warms my heart to see that happening. So Two Hills is also part of this. Bob Ross, he's the president of our association, and he is also the president of the Fallen Riders Monument and Wayside Memorial Gardens in Two Hills, Alberta, where they're just getting ready to put all the stones in place for the Fallen Riders Monument. And they're going to be being filmed by a little company called Go East of Edmonton next week sometime. It's an amazing endeavor that our president is going under. Our VP, she's, the Department of Heritage Excellence Award. She's just done so many wonderful things, and we are so proud to have the support of Sheila Willis, Impact Tourism, and all of us working together to make tourism and Alberta's economy one of the strongest it can be. So History Check, proud to be part of this whole network, proud to have you part of us, and get your ing on, Alberta. Motorcycling, it's exciting, it's rewarding, it's wonderful to get out and sightseeing. Oh, sightseeing, that's a wonderful thing to do when you're on your motorcycle. Come on out, folks. Remember, History Check. Download it on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, and make sure that you get involved. This is going to make your this is going to make your summer and your travels way more rewarding. Get your ing on in Alberta with History Check.